doctor.
The South African Blood Services are responsible for collecting over 1 million units of safe blood annually. Now, in order to achieve this mammoth task, they need regular safe blood donors who are essentially the lifeblood of the organisation. Matthew Booth is on the regulars list. Matthew, before we even get into donating blood, what goes through your mind when the crowd's chanting, "Booth"?
Well, it's kind of sort of a privilege to be picked on in that manner. A lot of people don't realize that it's a form of sort of cheering.
Praise,
and they're not actually booing me.
And international journalists, they must have thought they're booing him.
Yeah, it took, especially a couple of years ago during the Confederations Cup, it took a lot of explaining. And I think some Spanish journalists got the wrong end of the stick early on, but eventually, you know, most people certainly realized that it was a form of motivation, and it's a tradition among South African football fans to do that too.
Yeah. And they're not picking on the only white guy, huh?
No.
Matthew, why do you donate?
Well, for no particular reason other than, you know, I feel that it's, you know, a person can donate monetary wise or time wise, but I think the most important donation that you can ever make is blood, your own blood. And you know, I haven't had a particular family member or anyone who's had to have a transfusion, but I just feel that it's one of the best gifts that you can give.
Couldn't agree with you more. And of course, the great cookies at the end of the donation.
Absolutely, and the juice. Don't forget the juice.
Well, shall we donate?
Absolutely, let's go for it. Yeah.
Great.
Hello, doctor.
This is usually the position that strikers find themselves in after a particularly crunching tackle from Matthew Booth. But today, he's in the hot seat giving blood. And Marika, tell me a bit about the prerequisites for donating.
The first prerequisite is really that you want to help people, and we've passed that one. Okay. The second one is that you have to be between 16 and 65 years of age, over 50 kilograms, and then healthy, both medically speaking, as well as your sexual lifestyle has to be a healthy one.
And there's obviously a long questionnaire that answers all those questions. What precludes me from donating?
There are a number of things that could preclude donors. It's important to remember that they must eat before donation, and they must also know that whatever medication they are using or whatever is in their lifestyle that could be a risk either to themselves or to the person that is actually going to receive their blood needs to be declared. Okay. In other words, it's important that people are really honest on their blood donor questionnaire, because whatever they say needs to accurately reflect what is going on in their health.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now, we just missed Kim putting the needle in. Matthew, how did that feel? Was that painful?
Hardly felt it.
You hardly felt it?
Yep.
That's fantastic. You're just tough, though, because that looks like a big needle.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say tough, but, you know, in my experience, you're in safe hands no matter which centre that you go to. I'm a regular donor, and they make you feel very comfortable. Yeah.
You talk about safe hands. Tell me about the safety of donating these days, Marika.
It is extremely safe to donate blood in South Africa, I'm happy to say. We use only sterile equipment, and we take great care to take good care of our blood donors. After all, they're very precious. So your health is checked very carefully, and afterwards we check that you're fine before you leave the blood donor centre.
Now, I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it because I want you to give us the answer. There's no chance of contracting HIV from donating blood?
No, absolutely not, because as I said, everything is sterile, so there's no contact with blood or any other substance.
Okay. Matthew, how often have you donated?
Since coming back from Russia, about 11 or 12 times, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's about every 2 months.
And for a professional sportsman, surely after this, does this affect your performance? I mean, how quickly do you recover from this?
Very quickly. You just got to make sure that obviously you train beforehand. Often what I'll do is I'll train in the morning, have some lunch, have a good lunch, and then go and donate. And for the rest of the day, you're pretty fine if you eat well, keep yourself hydrated.
Marika, there's a tendency of people to come in to have their blood donated, or donate their blood to get a free HIV test. Yes? No?
Oh, absolutely not. What we ask people to do, as I mentioned, honesty is really important. And what we ask people to do is please, if there's any doubt in your mind that you may be HIV positive or you may have been exposed to the virus, to please not donate. You know, there are a number of testing centres that people can go to. But blood donation, because of the window period that still exists with HIV, is not something that you want to use as a free HIV test at all, because you could infect someone with the virus.
Great. Marika, well said. Matthew, you've been pumping something that looks like a short pistol or a Beretta. What is that?
I'm not sure what the name for it is, but basically it's to activate the blood which is going into the pouch to make sure that the pouch fills up nice and evenly.
Okay. And what happens to that pouch after Matthew's donated? I mean, there's about 500 mils of blood in there?
Yeah, about 475 mils.
Okay.
It goes from the point of collection to the HQ, where usually the testing center is, and it goes to the virology laboratory as well as the blood grouping laboratory, and it gets screened for a number of viruses, HIV I've mentioned, as well as hepatitis and syphilis. And then from there it will go to the various blood banks where it is distributed, waiting for the doctor to order.
That said, what are the chances of getting HIV these days as a recipient of blood?
Well, as I said, unfortunately, there still is a window period for HIV detection. So we ask people to answer their questionnaires really honestly and to make sure that they are in good health before they donate blood. Because even though we do test every single unit with the most advanced technology available, we can't close that window period totally. So we can't say 100%, that the window period doesn't come into play. But the South African Transfusion Services have been congratulated recently at the World AIDS Congress for bringing down the chance of infection.
And being one of the best services of its kind in the world,
Yes, we can
which
be
is
very
great.
proud of our blood services.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, why aren't you lying next to me, also donating?
It's a great question, Matthew. Thank you for asking. I was in surgery 4 weeks ago, which I think is a preclusion for donating.
That's true.
So give me another
He's
couple of
off
weeks.
the hook.
Oh, okay.
But you've done particularly well for now. Yeah, you've done well, man. We're nearly done. That bag is full. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It was pretty painless, and I can walk away feeling good about myself. I think any healthy person should get down to their nearest blood service and donate, give the best gift that they can.
Brilliant. Matthew, thank you for being a great role model, because you really, really are. Have you ever wanted to save someone's life, to know what it feels like to make a real difference and be a hero? All it takes is a pint of blood, and you get to be a real-life hero and live with the knowledge that you stood in the gap and saved someone's life. And who knows, maybe someday someone might do the same for you.
Hello, doctor.